Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching JanataTelevision and this is English Bulletin with me, Jestha Bhattrai. The top stories first. Health authorities confirm spike in coronavirus cases. Total number of infection reaches 2,099. Government to change modality of lockdown. High-level committee discusses the matter with private sector. Violence against women on rise. 300 cases of rape reported during lockdown. Protest in major US cities despite curfew. Trump vows to crack down. And international cricket set to return in July. England to play 3-match test series with West Indies. And now, the news in detail. The government yesterday confirmed a massive increase in coronavirus infection in the country with 288 new cases reported in a single day. With this, the total number of coronavirus cases in the country has reached 2,099. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, a test conducted at Dhulikhel Hospital yesterday confirmed 38 new cases. Likewise, a test in Pokhara confirmed 10 new cases, while that in Dharan reported 1 positive case. Similarly, test in Bheri Hospital confirmed 20 new cases, while Surkhet reported 64 positive cases and Doilik confirmed 37 new cases. 1 positive case was also confirmed in Hetauda, while Dang and Dhangari reported 17 and 18 cases respectively. Test carried out at the National Public Health Lab in the capital confirmed 118 new cases.
संक्रमित व्यक्तिहरूको विवरण दिन चाहन्छु। नयाँ संक्रमित पछिल्लो तथ्याङ्क अनुसार 288 जना नयाँ संक्रमित हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूमध्ये 270 जना पुरुष र 18 जना महिला हुनुहुन्छ। पछिल्लो तथ्याङ्क अनुसार जम्मा 45 जना डिस्चार्ज हुनुभएको छ। यसरी कुल डिस्चार्ज हुनेको संख्या 266 रहेको छ।
Till date, the government has conducted 75,343 tests through PCR method, while the test through RDT method stands at 116,000.
परीक्षणहरूको आजसम्मको कुल संख्या 75,343 रहेको छ। त्यसैगरी आरडीटी विधिबाट गरिएका परीक्षणहरूको संख्या 1,16,345 रहेको छ। गत 24 घण्टामा पीसीआर विधिबाट गरिएका नमुना परीक्षणहरू 3,440 वटा छन्। त्यसैगरी आरडीटी विधिबाट गरिएका परीक्षणहरू 2,588 वटा रहेका छन्।
Currently, 1,825 infected persons are receiving treatment in isolation wards across the country. So far, 266 persons have been discharged after recovery. Around 145,000 persons have been kept in various quarantine facilities at present. Meanwhile, the government has started homework to change the modality of the lockdown. The High-Level Committee for the Prevention and Control of Coronavirus met with leaders of private sectors and other umbrella organizations to discuss about changing the modality of the lockdown. The High-Level Committee is reportedly preparing to implement the new modality of lockdown immediately. The participants of the meeting reminded the government that unless the plans are put in place to revive the falling economy and economic activities, problems like hunger and famine will become more severe. The participants also advised the government to categorize the areas affected by coronavirus and those not affected by the pandemic and plan accordingly to run the industries and production sector. They said that the operation of the industries will bring life back into the economy. Similarly, President of the NCC Rajesh Kaji Jestha, General Secretary of Transport Entrepreneurs Federation Sarod Sitaula, President of Nawalparasi Chamber of Commerce Chandra Bhandari, General Secretary of Federation of Nepal Expert Professionals and Chairman of Pashmina Industries Nepal Durga Bikram Thapa, among others, advised the government to conduct a risk assessment and allow the operation of industries for a fixed time by easing the grip on the lockdown. Sitaula also advised the government to decide on maintaining physical distance while travelling in public vehicles and allow their operation as soon as possible. There have been an increase in the cases of violence against women and rape during the lockdown. In a span of 2.5 months, around 300 instances of rape have been reported. Rape by family members has become a serious cause for concerns in the Nepalese society. The current crisis of coronavirus has jeopardized the existence of all mankind. The lockdown imposed by the government has crossed 2.5 months, and there has been an increase in cases of heinous crimes such as rape. During the lockdown period on May 29, a 38-year-old man from Tharan Sunsari raped his own daughter. Police immediately arrested the rapist's father. Another incident of rape was that of a stranded 20-year-old woman who was raped by people promising her to give a lift to Kathmandu. The helper to the truck's driver, Krishna Satar, was arrested from Thankot. According to the reports from Nepal police, 291 cases of rape have been registered during the lockdown period from March 24 to May 30. An average of 5 rapes have been reported per day.
जुन अन्य यो लकडाउनको पिरियडमा हामीले चाहिँ 11 गतेदेखिको दिनखेरि 17 गतेसम्मको जेठ 17 गतेसम्म हेर्दाखेरि अन्य अपराध चाहिँ निकै घटेको छ। रेप चाहिँ तुलनात्मक रूपमा अरूभन्दा घटेको छैन, त्यही औसतमा भइरहेको देखिन्छ। त्यसले यो औसतमा जुन हेर्दाखेरि दिनमा 4-5 देखि 10-12 सम्म चाहिँ मुद्दाहरू नेपालमा दर्ता भएको देखिन्छ।
During the lockdown period, Province 1 has seen the maximum number of rape cases, which stands at 63. Records maintained by Nepal police state that 17 rape cases were reported in Kathmandu Valley, 41 in Province 2, 44 in Bagmati Province, 26 in Gandaki Province, 50 in Province 5, 20 in Karnali Province and 30 in Far Western Province. According to police, family members and acquaintances have been found to have raped the victims more frequently during the lockdown.
अलि विश्वासमा भएको मान्छेहरुमाबाट उले चाहिँ फाइदा लिएको देखिन्छ बेसी। त्यसैले यो जुन वर्गमा भइराछ त्यो वर्गहरुसँग सम्बन्ध भएको वा पहिले चिनेको मान्छेहरुबाट हुन सक्ने बेसी सम्भावना देख्नु लाग्यो। घर परिवारमा चाहिँ त्यस्ता अवस्थामा हुँदाखेरि पनि अलि सचेत हुनुपर्ने चाहिँ देखिन्छ।
Concerns have been raised about the recent state of Nepali society as heinous crimes such as rape have been on the rise within the family and among relatives. Family members, including parents, should be vigilant to prevent the incidents of rape. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. Members of the National Assembly have urged the government to initiate a search program for all the bombs and explosives planted during the People's War and dispose them of. The lawmakers are reminded of the gruesome death of 4 children in Rolpa who died on April 30th due to the explosion of one of such bombs. Member of the Upper House Ankita Devkota reminded the government of this incident yesterday at the meeting of the National Assembly. The bombs planted by the former Maoist combatants have been putting fear into the hearts of locals because of these random explosions. The members also drew the attention of the government to 50 neonatal and prenatal deaths that occurred during the lockdown. The MPs demanded that the government must conduct a detailed investigation into the deaths of prenatal and neonatal women who died in quarantine and said a separate directive must be issued for women and young girls to protect them during their sensitive period. The members also pointed out to the need for another set of directives to address the issue of the inaccessible healthcare during lockdown for the general people and to end any irregularities immediately. A parliamentary committee has directed the government to create a separate Dalit police cell to investigate matters of discriminations against the Dalit community. A meeting of the Law, Justice and Parliamentary Committee of the Lower House yesterday directed the government to set up a separate police cell to investigate cases of discriminations against the Dalit community. Delivering the decision made by committee's meeting, Chairman of the committee Krishna Bhakta Pokhrel stated that a separate cell, just like Women's and Children's Cell of Nepal Police, is required to investigate and inspect social crimes such as discriminations against Dalit community. The committee has opined such cells should understand the sensitivity of the issue and take strong actions against the culprit.
नेपाल सरकारले चाहिँ यसका विरुद्धमा महाअभियान चालोस् र नेपाल प्रहरीमा जसरी महिला बालबालिका सेल भए जस्तै दलितहरूको पनि एउटा अलग्गै सेल बनाएर यसलाई संवेदनशील ढंगबाट यसको चाहिँ अध्ययन अनुसन्धान गरेर दोषीलाई कडाभन्दा कडा कारबाही गर्न नेपाल सरकार गृह मन्त्रालयलाई निर्देशन गर्ने हाम्रो तेस्रो निर्णय भएको छ।
During the same meeting, Minister for Home Affairs Ram Bahadur Thapa linked the Rukum West incident to the death of a black man in America due to police brutality, stating that racial and ethnic crimes are still prevalent even in top democracies like the United States. Minister Thapa accepted that although Nepal has ended ethnic and caste-based discriminations legally, it has failed to do so in practice.
त्यो अन्तिम चरणतिर पुर्याइरहेको छ। पक्कै पनि छिटै नै चाहिँ अब त्यसको चाहिँ रिपोर्ट आउने छ र चाहिँ दोषीहरूलाई चाहिँ हामीले छिटै नै चाहिँ एउटा कानुनको कठघरामा चाहिँ हामी ल्याउने छौं। किन पनि चाहिँ यसलाई ढाकछोप गर्ने र दोषीहरूलाई उम्काउने अथवा उम्कन दिने भन्ने कुराहरु चाहिँ सरकारको तर्फबाट हुने छैन।
Minister Thapa was accompanied by Police Chief and Home Secretary during yesterday's meeting. They have assured a fair probe and stern actions against the perpetrators of the Rukum West incident. Some lawmakers of the main opposition party, Nepali Congress, have registered a constitution amendment proposal at the Parliament Secretariat. NC lawmakers who arrived at the Parliament Secretariat stated that the amendment proposal was registered as per the decision of the party's Central Committee meeting. NC lawmaker Amresh Kumar Singh said the party registered the amendment proposal as decided by the former NC-led government. The amendment proposal of NC seeks for equality among all citizens and will also address the dissatisfaction prevailing in Tarai Madhes, MP Singh added. The constitutional amendment proposal registered by Nepali Congress also incorporates matters such as border dispute, citizenship, language, leadership of National Assembly, including others. And now the news from Economic Front. The Hotel Association of Nepal has concluded that the budget announced by the government for the upcoming fiscal year has not addressed their concerns. Stakeholders said that the budget has ignored the problems of hotel industry, which is a vital contributor to the tourism sector. They said that the budget has not included relief packages for the industry, which has been hard hit by the coronavirus pandemic and the lockdown. Although the Hotel Association of Nepal welcomed the rehabilitation fund announced by the government, they said that the budget was silent on providing support to more than 1 million people employed in this sector. Han said that it is not possible to pay the salary of the staffers by taking loan. The association said that hotel entrepreneurs have invested billions of rupees in this sector and they have been paying a large amount of taxes regularly. In such a context, they demanded interest-free loan for at least 2 years. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. Thousands Thousands of demonstrators took a knee in the grass outside the US Capitol yesterday just before a curfew, Reuters reported. According to Reuters, peaceful protest against police brutality swelled in major cities, with protesters chanting "Silence is violence" and "No justice, no peace." Evening curfews were ordered in dozens of cities following a week of demonstrations over the death of a 46-year-old George Floyd in Minneapolis police custody. Largely peaceful during the day, the crowds have erupted into violence and looting after dark. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday the National Guard should patrol New York City's streets to put an end to fires, looting and property destruction. Floyd died after a white policeman pinned his neck under a knee for nearly 9 minutes in Minneapolis on May 25. The case has reignited the explosive issue of police brutality against African Americans. A painful re-examination of race relations has swept the country 5 months before a divided America votes in a presidential election. The officer who knelt on Floyd, 44-year-old Derek Chauvin, has been charged with third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. England cricket team will return to action this July as England will host West Indies for a 3-test series, BBC reported. The test series will begin on 8th of July in Southampton, followed by 2 tests at Old Trafford on 16 July and 24 July. According to BBC, all 3 matches will be played behind closed doors at the biosecure venues, which both have hotels on site. West Indies are scheduled to arrive England on 9th of June, and the players will be stationed at Old Trafford for initial training and quarantine. The original schedule, which featured a test at the Oval, Edgbaston and Lords between 4 to 9 June, was postponed because of the coronavirus pandemic, BBC reported. BBC has also quoted the director of England and Wales Cricket Board, Steve Lorty, who said a decision on series against Pakistan, Australia and Ireland will be determined at a later date. Edgbaston in Birmingham has been selected as a contingency venue and will be used to stage additional training throughout July. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Health authorities confirm spike in coronavirus cases. Total number of infection reaches 2,099. Government to change modality of lockdown. High-level committee discusses the subject with private sector. Violence against women on the rise. 300 cases of rape reported during lockdown. Protests in major US cities despite curfew. Trump vows to crack down. And international cricket set to return in July. England to play 3-match test series with West Indies. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow government directives of the lockdown and follow healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infection. Keep washing your hands, keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.